Ladies and gentlemen, we have the video that I have been waiting for quite a while. As you guys know, or maybe don't know, every single year, the Act Man does a video on Call of Duty. It's a review. He goes through everything, all the modes. And this one is titled, Why is Call of Duty Black Ops 6 so mediocre and awesome? And I have no idea where he's going with this. My voice has started to come back, but I'm assuming by the end of the day, after I've recorded a bunch of videos, it'll be gone again. So we'll see how it goes as we go through here. I still might sound a little bit weird, but it's an hour long. So get a snack, buckle up. Let's find out why Black Ops 6 is so mediocre.
New level of polish and innovation across all parts of the game.
And with the sudden return of notorious operative Russell Adler, who'd gone missing for months, former ally may have become a new enemy.
Round-based zombies is absolutely back and better than ever.
You know what? New zombies is pretty good though. I'm digging it.
Wait, is that a positive zombies comment? Let's go!
Yes.
We truly believe that once you experience Omni movement, there's no going back.
Oh my god.
Please!
Traditional prestige is back.
So we're back to our classic 3-lane maps.
We're not back to 3-lane maps.
Real talk, is this not one of the greatest video game themes? And it's for the menu of all things.
It is. It really is. I use it in videos all the time.
Make anything epic.
Point proven.
I immediately noticed the parallels between Raining the Fire and Black Ops 2's iconic Adrenaline, as it signals
They're
to
very
my
different
brain,
though.
Hey, we're going back to that thing you like. Round-based zombies? We got it. Classic prestige? You bet your ass it's in here.
Is he gonna do this whole review dressed as Adler? Because that's hilarious.
Black Ops 2's story with characters from Cold War? Yeah, I think we're ready to rock and roll. Another game starring Russell Adler. Rule 34 is gonna go crazy this year. Raining the Fire is aptly named because that's exactly what the composer Jack Wall did. Last year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 oozed apathy. It was soul-drainingly bad.
Yep.
Black Ops 6, on the other hand, signals a return to form.
I mean, kinda.
The quality and polish between two yearly releases has never been so extreme. Just further evidence
Very
of
much
why
agree
the
with that.
annual release for COD needs to die, but it never will.
We just need money.
But what is different this year is Raven Software led the
As I've always
production
said,
of
his
the
use of
campaign
memes
while
is
Treyarch was
next
tasked
level.
with zombies and multiplayer, and they all had an extra year of development, 4 years. But some important questions remain. Did their efforts pay off? Do you really get to move like an action hero? Is Black Ops 6 just another false flag operation? And does its campaign live up to the Black Ops legacy? Well,
That is what I'm curious of what he
decrypt the
says.
Story, find Bill Clinton, and dolphin dive our way straight into this.
Hey,
Oh,
still with me?
great move
Hudson
here.
may have smashed this monitor,
Damn it!
but he didn't realize I already upgraded to LG's Ultra Gear 27-inch OLED gaming monitor. With this gaming
Wicked
monitor,
integration.
you too can become a superior gamer. The Ultra Gear will brainwash
I have-
you with its
Ooh,
mind-bending
there goes the voice.
specs.
I have the old version of
240
this
hertz
monitor.
refresh
Actually,
rate. It's the perfect
yeah,
size, suited
I have
for
one
medium
generation
and
back
large
of this
desks.
monitor.
True black HDR with a 0.03 millisecond response time. That's right, fellas. You play Black Ops 6 on this bad boy, you'll never be able
good
to
monitor.
blame the lag again. Case, it's got all the ports you could ever need. It works just as well with your PC as it does your gaming consoles. Case, we've got a job to do. I can't stop gaming now, and with the anti-glare coating, I won't have to. You won't have to worry about other light sources reflecting off your screen, and it'll be much easier on the eyes. And LG also has the GX7 with 480 hertz refresh rate, 1440p resolution,
Maybe I need
and
to upgrade
2.1 for connectivity. Pre-orders
to one of
start
those
on the
bad
18th
boys.
if you're interested. There's too many reasons to upgrade and get yourself an LG gaming monitor. And if you check the link in the description and pinned comment, you can learn more about it. Thank you, LG, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
The memes
All right,
are
Case,
so good.
It's time I leak the real dossier.
He
on
keeps
Black
calling
Ops
me
6
Case.
zombies. What's written beneath the black ink? Is it awesome or bad? Well, in a surprise twist of fate, turns out I've spent more time playing Zamblers than multiplayer.
I think I have as well.
This is new and uncomfortable for me. But those of you that watch my COD reviews, you've come to know me as one of the most consistent, respected voices in the zombies community. I'm kind of known for my incredibly based takes on this series, and people often look to me for guidance.
Hey, Ackman! Nick said your zombies' opinions are cringe!
They ask you how you are, you just say that
okay,
you're
well.
fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I've been living a lie? Well, if Tank Dempsey himself is calling me cringe, who am I to argue? It must be true. And so, I bid you all farewell.
Fair enough.
Oh, and Zombies is pretty damn good this year.
It is. I think it's probably the best part of Black Ops 6. And I think the campaign's pretty good.
Has likely been the, dare I say it, return to form that most fans were hoping it'd be. And though it is a massive upgrade from whatever the fuck this nonsense was,
yes.
This year's Zombies does leave something to be desired. The mode has become a
Interesting.
tasty blend of Cold War and Black Ops 3, two radically different games whose unique features complement each other quite nicely. Of course, there's the typical kill zombies, earn points, but don't spend them on doors because that's your teammate's problem, not yours, style.
Which I think is honestly funnier, because you can make fun of the people who
So,
don't buy doors.
one thing that's interesting about zombies this year is I have not played with a team. I've only played solo.
That is true.
Yeah, but
You act, man.
Well, you bought them all before me. Like Cold War, you gather scrap for various upgrades. Fellas, get this. We even got round-based zombies back. You mean like there's waves that get tougher over time?
That's
Can
it.
you fucking believe it? I can't.
I don't believe it!
Really goes to show how far Zombies has fallen off when round-based zombies is like the cornerstone of their marketing strategy.
Yeah, it's even weird that it's a
that could be
term,
here.
right?
You notice
Like
we
it should
haven't
just be
liked their
zombies. Zombies is
mode for the
round-based.
last, 6+ years. So we're just gonna give you what you want. How's that sound? That sounds great. Yeah, I bet it does, asshole. Gee willikers, why didn't you think of this before? Because I fucking hate you and hope
fair
you
enough.
die. You should kill yourself. The reception to BO6 Zombies might seem pretty positive right now, but don't forget that recent competition has been playing at the same level as the New York Jets. You just expect to laugh at it every year.
Yeah.
And watch as zombie fans put paper bags over.
So yeah, what he's saying there is like we're so used to that co-op mode just being a kind of laugh. One thing that I do think was underrated was the raids from Modern Warfare 2. I really liked them. I think a lot of other people really did, but I do happen to know that it was one of the least played modes ever, hence why we didn't get a continuation of them.
Over their heads to cover their shame. This year is different, since arguably Black Ops 4, COD Zombies has struggled to maintain its identity and continue innovating with the best features of its past, with Activision and the developers opting instead to see how many different ways they can keep fucking it up. Ironically, it seems Activision's attitude towards the Zombies mode is reflected in the lyrics of the Liberty Falls Easter egg song.
He like made a music video for it. Kind of impressive, I'm not gonna lie.
Fun fact, did you know Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was not nominated for Best Score in Music at the 2024 Game Awards?
That's not a fun fact. More like a regrettable tragedy. All right, I gotta stop simping for the soundtrack, but can you blame me?
The soundtrack is really good.
Cold War or BO3, then Black Ops 6 is gonna be right up your alley. And if for some godforsaken reason you preferred COD Vanguard zombies,
Did anyone?
or Warzone zombies, then there's the door. Get out. BO6 Zombies easily passes the vibe check with flying colors.
Approved!
At least when it comes to the soundtrack. Now, I've never been huge into the zombie storyline. All I really care about is that the cast of characters is fun, entertaining. If they are a racial stereotype, that's bonus points for that too.
My weapon is low on honor. I will soon need ammunition.
And that they provide witty banter between the merciless onslaught my triple-packed ray gun brings to these godless heathens. Black Ops 4 had the original cast, but they also introduced 4 new characters, and this group was pleasantly entertaining and charming. And it goes to show that when you create a mode with specific characters in mind,
it works
even
way
for
better.
People who don't
Dedicated crew,
understand
right?
what's happening in the story, they can be entertained and they can feel a connection with these characters. So naturally, like COD Vanguard,
Did you have a condom wrapper in that garbage can?
Sorry, it's hard to start a sentence with like COD Vanguard. Like COD Vanguard, you can hop into zombies and play as any of the multiplayer operators, which, depending on your choice, can make the narrative completely disjointed and virtually incomprehensible for the filthy casual audience to understand. In other words, me. I guess it's cool to kill zombies as Captain of the Onions, Frank Woods, but who's Nathan? Why are we killing him? What the fuck is happening? Why is Weaver back? That's a good question. Remember him from Black Ops 1? He's in zombies now for some reason.
He's like a hard mainstay in zombies.
I thought you were dead.
If it were only that simple.
What? Are they fucking memeing? Is this a prank?
Alex.
They do this all the time.
Still standing. Heard you died in a tank in South America.
Well, I wasn't in that tank.
I thought you were dead.
If it were only that simple.
Are they trolling me? How many times?
Every game. At least once every game.
Do the I thought you were dead. Nah.
Wait till he finds out the case is Bell.
How many times can you do that? This is at least 3. This is the 3rd time. At least Weaver wasn't like killed off, but it's still like, I thought you died. JK LOL raffle now. If it were only that simple. Simple like the fucking writers. But why do they keep pulling this shit? Is it just to troll me? Look, there's probably a good explanation to all my questions. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just pretty funny. The story is there for people who care for it. I'm just here to kick ass and chew Gobblegums. And I'm all out of gobbles. Because it's after Thanksgiving. That's right, folks. Your favorite monetized pay-to-win mechanic in a PvE mode has returned. Though I did not expect the twist that Gobblegums would come back without the gambling, and that
there is no
less
gambling.
Interesting because of it. You can put the gun down. I'm not advocating for the return of loot boxes. You can put the gun down. I say Gobblegums are less interesting because I don't know how you get them. It just seems to happen at complete random.
It's completely random, and I don't even use them, to be honest with you.
What the fuck that's about? Activision sitting over there seething like, if only we could put more gambling into Call of Duty, but that blasted government said no. Gobblegums at their best are fun, quirky, luck-based, consumable power-ups with a variety of unique effects that can dramatically change your run. At their worst, Gobblegums were a shameless paid advantage offered in a PvE mode that used gambling as its delivery system.
Yeah, you had to basically roll a mystery box and get Gobblegums.
Workaholic or profit sharing. The problem is that when you monetize a system like that, you remove the option to have a more satisfying form of progression and unlocks.
Very true.
I get it. It's a gumball. You put the quarter in, twist it, you get a different flavor each time. It makes sense. Vermintide 2 proved that you could have loot boxes, not monetize them, and it works amazing. It should be the same with Gobblegums, but asking Activision not to monetize any part of Call of Duty is like asking Sledgehammer.
Yeah, that's a good point, is loot boxes could actually be a good element in a game as long as you don't monetize it. If the only way to get them is through gameplay, then they're really not a bad mechanic. They're actually kind of fun, but they can't do it. They're like, we need money
to finally step up and make a good COD game. It's
like,
just not in the card.
Does anyone know that in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, there was like 6 months where the loot boxes in that game were not monetized? They were a lot of fun. I'm just saying.
It's not going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? The issue with Gobblegums in Black Ops 3 is that it partially relied on real-world money, whereas if it's just an in-game currency that is earned through playing, can't be bought, then the loot box delivery system is great. You could pay the bare minimum of Gobblegum juice or whatever it was, or spend more of it for a better chance at better Gobblegums. Juice. It's nice that they're back, but they're also an objective downgrade from Black Ops 3. Why are there no basic or free limitless Gobblegums you can bring into a match? Because fuck the poor, that's why. Having some Gobblegums you could always use was essential for Black Ops 3 so that everyone could at least engage with this new mechanic. You know how in RPGs, you sometimes get those super rare consumable items, but then you end up beating the game without ever using them because they're
Almost
so
all the
rare?
time.
That's kind of how I feel with Gobblegums now.
I think
Also,
that's why I don't use them.
Shields up, there are no new Gobblegums at all. I recognize all of these from BO3, so yeah, pretty big disappointment.
There are a couple
they brought
new
this
ones,
fan
more than
favorite
that,
gimmick
but
back and didn't manage to create any new meaningful experiences with it. Besides that, BO6 has everything you'd expect. Gunsmith in all its glory, customizable perks, ammo mods, crafting benches that let you make lethals, tacticals, equipment, even kill streaks. You've got weapon tiers in addition to 3 levels of pack-a-punch, the good stuff. One of the biggest improvements comes with the new dedicated melee weapon slot, which is much more interesting here than it is in multiplayer.
He's right.
Now you can beat zombies to death with a baseball bat or use a power drill to extract their juicy brains. Melee in zombies has always been kind of a joke, outside of moments when you have insta-kill. I always liked the Bowie knife.
I did always like the Bowie
games
knife.
because it felt nice to be able to upgrade this part of your arsenal, even if it wasn't all that useful. But now, melee builds are totally viable. You can pack-a-punch your knife, give it an ammo mod, raise its weapon tier. You can't
Smart
give it a
move on that.
bipod though, which is disappointing. So with this new focus on melee combat, obviously they added a bunch of cool melee weapons that you can find in the mystery box, right?
No.
Is this going to be a pattern for BO6? Let's add this really cool idea into the game and then make sure we do absolutely nothing with it. Why? How come there isn't a melee wonder weapon? Has it ever been done before? You know, I really have to stop asking perfectly logical questions, otherwise I'll be mad.
There's a melee wonder weapon now.
The other major addition is Augments. These are awesome to play around with, but ridiculously boring and stupid to unlock. Basically, each ammo mod, field upgrade, and perk has additional perks that will further enhance that ability. More HP for Juggernog.
This turned out to be a really smart mechanic. I really like what they did with Augments.
Units, PhD Flopper turning into PhD Slider. They really got creative here. However, you can only progress one augment at a time because, well, we gotta make our fan base slaves to the grind. How do you think we make money? The only way to progress these augments is to just play zombies. I don't know how it tracks XP or if it even does, or if doing anything specific speed.
I pretty much leveled up all of my augments by the time I was done getting Nebula. Once I had Nebula, they seemingly were all done. I didn't even pick ones in particular to get. They were just done.
But it's completely arbitrary. It's weird because they have a mastery system where you gain medals for getting kills with different weapons, lethals, tacticals, equipment. Why couldn't the augments be based on that and let players progress multiple augments simultaneously? Because that's just too good of an idea. One of the reasons Call of Duty is so successful is because it's perfected the art of triggering your dopamine receptors.
Very true.
They've made leveling up and unlocking new gadgets satisfying in a way that no other game has. So it makes no sense why when you unlock new augments, nothing pops up on screen, no sound effects. You have to look at the menu afterwards.
That is odd. I never thought about that, but that is odd.
Check that during a match. Whatever. It's stupid. Also, side note, thank you for letting us use XP tokens mid-match. Great quality of life feature. So unlocking the augments is
They've had it the past couple years, but it took like months after launch to do that. But agreed.
My own unique play style in zombies. That's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed Black Ops 4, even though I'm a heretic for enjoying it. Say what you will about BO4 zombies, they had the right idea when it came to selecting different talents or boosts for perks. That was a novel concept that needed more refinement, and here it is. I think zombies' biggest hurdle to overcome is repetition. And so having a system where players feel like they're getting progressively stronger for each subsequent playthrough helps immensely for replayability.
Yeah.
Mechanically, there's not too much new here. Melee Macchiato is the only new perk, and I'm not sure it actually does anything.
It ends up being, like, if you do like melee camos and stuff, it ends up actually being pretty important, but also probably with the new melee weapon, wonder weapon, but I heard that those aren't very good, so maybe not.
But the vending machine starts throwing punches when I buy it, and that's the only reason I do. I'm satisfied. So you have the freedom to pick and choose augments you want to unlock that are going to be most useful for your specific playstyle. This is fantastic. Unfortunately, Treyarch has committed crimes against Skyrim and her people, and has nothing to say in their defense. What am I talking about? They got rid of the best perk in COD Zombies. Mule Kick. Yeah. Throw your tomatoes.
That's
Throw
the
your
one?
tomatoes. I'm a dumbass and I'm proud of it. I don't care what anyone says, Mule Kick is the GOAT perk. It is the ultimate freedom to carry 3 weapons instead of being limited to 2. There is no reason not to have it. It is the ultimate risk reward perk. Let me be a dumbass and carry 3 weapons and think I'm hot shit and later regret the decision to buy Mule Kick when I go down and lose the ray gun. Let me be that guy. Do you know how limiting it feels in this modern era of COD where the grind is everlasting and eternal, where every time you play you want to feel like you're working towards something? Do you know how limiting it is to only be allowed 2 firearms? Do I grind for attachments and camos, or do I use the super fucking awesome laser gun? I don't want to have to make that choice between sacrificing a ray gun or a wonder weapon because I want to feel like I'm progressing.
I mean, it's a good point. I also never used Mule Kick because I didn't like having to switch through 3 weapons.
To the ray gun. Why haven't they done that?
Why haven't they done that?
But heck, man, Mule Kick is the worst perk because if you go down, you lose that gun. Yeah, if you're a chump, I'm not going down. I got 3 guns. Also, that was a problem they fixed in Black Ops 4, remember? And with the new augment system, maybe the last augment is you get down, don't lose the gun.
Well, it seems like we're going to be getting a new perk every season, so.
Advocating for the return of Mule Kick, but Black Ops 6 is really going for
I want double tap,
player
not gonna lie.
player choice kind of gameplay. And Mule Kick is part of my player choice. It also encourages more use of the mystery box. It's a win-win. Add it back. Killstreaks were a fantastic addition to zombies, and they thrive in BO6 like they did in Cold War, especially for boss fights.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to coordinate with your team to make the most out of what you got, right? You don't want to use the mutant injector if your teammates are already using it. This is one of the cooler kill streaks because it lets you inject the most lethal compound of fentanyl and Walter White's meth to turn yourself into a mangler, so you can.
It is a
take
cool
out
kill
your
streak. They need more
frustrations
stuff like
against
this.
them using their own medicine. I also like the armory and that you can find different rarities of keys to try your chance at some.
I don't think I've ever got anything good out of it.
Satisfying loot to find within the moment-to-moment gameplay, and through killing elite enemies, bosses, completing SAM trials, and you're encouraged to share those rewards with your teammates instead of hoarding them all to yourself. Find a chopper gunner in the armory, but you already have one? Tell your teammate about it. It's nice that they fleshed out the teamwork aspects a bit more. Also, mild annoyance, why doesn't max ammo restore tacticals and lethals? At least give me 3 of whatever I have on hand.
They're changing that with
ration
Vulture
my monkeys? What, you think I'm gonna pay 500 scrap for 1 monkey bomb? Are you insane? Do you know how expensive it is to upgrade your weapons? Also, where are the claymores? Give me claymores. Everybody loves claymores. In many ways, it's pretty obvious Treyarch was allowed more time to put more love into zombies this year.
It's
I've noticed
very
how
clear.
There's a unique death scene that plays at the end of every match depending on what type of enemy stops your run. It's a completely unnecessary detail, but it adds to the cinematic feeling this mode provides. Now, let's
It's
talk
such a
about
small
maps. Right
detail
now,
that
Black
makes
Ops
a pretty
6
big
has 2
difference.
of them, with a
It
third
just
one
feels
on the
complete.
way now. Liberty Falls is the more casual, laid-back experience where you can turn your brain off and blast zombies without a care in the world. Easter eggs are pretty easy to follow.
We're like
and
21 minutes in here and we haven't hit multiplayer or campaign yet.
You are not going to believe this. And Terminus is more Easter egg quest focused. The layout of this map is much more dynamic. You've got a crashed ship, underground science lab.
I think they already said that the time played is doubled on Liberty Falls.
My God.
But I think that's partially because of the camo
we're
grind.
playing on an actual zombies map and not just some shit they cobbled together with recycled Warzone assets. It's like somebody actually made this, a real human being. Can you believe it? As expected, the Easter eggs are pretty convoluted, but having a pro to help me through it was a lot of fun. I actually did a video with Mr. Raffle Waffles and Hidden Xperia, where we had to do the Terminus Easter egg with Milo only offering us vague hints.
There's a bulletin board here, but there's fuck all on it. What?
No, this bulletin board.
It's a chalkboard, you brainlet, not a fucking chalk. Did you guys like board games? No, I fucking hate them. We're breaking him.
Milo trying to help them so hard. That's actually hilarious.
If you're curious. By the way, I finally earned my zombie street cred because I solved that fucking equation for the Terminus Easter egg. I did math. So nobody can ever say I have bad zombies opinions again. I proved my worth.
And look, it's... Oh, I'm getting... Oh, my God.
Boy. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
It's also nice that they added a directed mode where the game actually guides you through.
I did not think I would like this directed thing,
difficulty.
And I think it's actually really important for the game.
Are visible. That makes figuring things out much more exciting when you hold X and you're like, oh shit, something actually happened. When things are more cryptic, it's less obvious to the average player, and therefore the people that do know about it feel more rewarded. I think the Beam Smasher is a fantastic wonder weapon, as is the return of the jet gun with infinite ammo. These things are a ton of fun to use. And just like how they melded elements of Cold War and Black Ops 3 together, Terminus and Liberty Falls work nicely together because they offered two different slices.
Very true. It was a good choice to have those two, even though they got dumped on for it.
It's all working as intended, and yet it's missing something. The magic P word. No, not that.
Oh.
Personality. These maps play very well. The layouts are interesting and dynamic, but if you were to ask me to describe what the vibe is, it's hard to say. As much as I despise a map like Transit, yeah, Volcanic City.
I wonder if he thinks the same thing about Citadel.
Through a fog filled with evil creatures. Yeah, that's a vibe. It stands out. Who could forget playing as JFK?
Yeah, he does have kind of a point here.
I know Raven Software did the campaign, but like, does Treyarch know that Bill Clinton is in this game? Where the fuck is he? Why isn't he fighting zombies? I did not have sexual relations with that mangler. Let me ask you this. Can you tell at a glance where Terminus is supposed to be? Like, geographically? I can't. You look at Kino der Toten. Oh, it's a Nazi theater. I sure wonder what country this map is set in. Hitler was also a big fan of movies. That ties into history. You got Shadows of Evil, had that Lovecraftian.
Yeah, okay, I see what he's saying now. He's making a point.
Zombies maps considered to be some of the worst in the franchise, there was something unique about their style and presentation.
He's right.
That differentiated.
I didn't agree with him at first. He fully convinced me.
It was just a matter if the community enjoyed the type of gameplay that different style brought with it. Why, yes, I love having my perks stolen by fucking
That was the
monkeys.
worst.
Thank you so much. Man, you look at 9 from Black Ops 4. It's one of my favorite zombies maps. You get to fight tigers, gladiators, war elephants. The crowd cheered you on as you
did. The theme of that one was
tests and like a god
next level,
giving you rewards. This map had a vibe I totally fucked with, and that vibe was 300 with zombies. I think the best comparison to make to Terminus is Shinonuma. They both have the aesthetic of like a Pacific Island base. But Shinonuma's style is much more easily understandable. You play this map for 5 minutes and you subconsciously understand, oh, this is a Japanese camp in a Pacific theater. And it's designed.
I thought it was in Vietnam, but you know,
sort of guerrilla warfare tactics the Japanese employed during World War II. It has this jungle island aesthetic.
Japanese kind of makes more sense.
Remarkably different from
Shangri-La. Where the campaign,
is just like your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill military base on an island. There's tentacle traps for some reason. It's like they're going for a Shadows of Evil kind of vibe, but the setting doesn't fit with it. Patient 13 is an incredible boss fight. I mean, yeah, it looks like Cthulhu, of course. I love this boss. It just doesn't feel like it's part of the setting. Now, again, I love how Terminus plays. It's got great moments with the boats and the tentacles that spew out green fart clouds so that you can't camp on the boat. And if you're doing the Easter egg quest, there are some iconic moments. When the Nathan boss fight starts and that techno music kicks in, and it's all like, yeah, it's
Nailed
a fucking
it.
party
Nailed
now,
it.
boys. But you see what I'm saying? If you were to take that music out, you take out the style.
True.
I feel like zombies maps have always been designed with this idea of selling you a fantasy. What would it be like to kill zombies in a Nazi theater? What would it be like to kill zombies on the fucking moon? And so a lot of the creative design choices would come from those fantasies they wanted players to experience. Terminus isn't all bad. There is a boat racing minigame, and it would have been tragic if they had boats and missed that opportunity. Shout out Bloodwake. Oh yeah, in Liberty Falls, it's like a regular town. There's a bowling alley, a church, and there's houses. There's houses. You like houses, guys, right? And
the one thing I will say about Liberty Falls is they've always done this thing where they're like zombies is in this like kind of, I don't want to say mythical, but these like crazy locations. So to have zombies in just kind of like a town, like a suburban town, I think is not a horrible idea. And I think they should have leaned into that more. Just to be like Walking Dead, when you like go through like the houses and everything like that. Would have been kind of cool to just have like a normal town, like kind of offsetting. And they kind of did that.
Pizzazz? On a positive note, it looks like Citadel de Morts, the newest zombies map, will have a more defined personality. So maybe my criticisms will disappear with that, but we'll see. At the very least, I'm glad Treyarch finally removed that stupid jingle, that little tune that played whenever you hit the mystery box. Thank goodness they got rid of that. It added too much personality and charm to
Why
zombies.
did they get rid of that?
Now allow me to pitch an idea that would earn Activision a shitload of money and make zombies fans universally happy. Drum roll, please. Zombie Chronicles 2. Do you ever
It might
think
happen.
about how we're still playing on the map Nuketown 5 games and 14 years later? Isn't that strange? I mean, why is it that they keep recycling the, oh, what's up, Call of the Dead? Yeah, I remember you. You showed up once, fucking kicked ass, and then left forever.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not
crazy.
like
You were
that
the
map.
only map that wasn't remade for Zombie Chronicles in BO3. Fellas, the time is right. We have all the right mechanics. Black Ops 6 is the perfect opportunity for Zombie Chronicles 2.
It might happen.
This game has the right formula to work with older maps. All they have to do is update the visuals, rework the maps to fit with the new mechanics, and then bing, bang, boom, everyone's happy. Here's my money. Pleasure doing business with you. Typically, though, Activision doesn't like to put in effort to make money, so the chances are slim, but I need a hero. Overall, Black Ops 6 offers a solid iteration on
We're halfway
zombies. We
through,
have gotten
and
back on track, and the dark ages are behind
no
us.
campaign, no
I think it's the
multiplayer
best
yet.
since Black Ops 4, though I'm sure many people like it more than that. What can I say? Mule Kick changes a man. And with a new map coming out within 5 weeks of launch, BO6
That
Zombies
is
looks
wild.
towards a healthy future, as does its community of hardcore fans. What a difference a couple of years can make, huh?
Just don't buy the game yet. Just don't buy the game yet.
I agree with
If
him
you're buying
about
it for zombies, just don't do it. I don't want you guys to be disappointed.
A few years later.
COD Zombies has struggled to impress me for a long time, and Black Ops 6 may not be perfect, but it's refreshing to actually be enthusiastic about this mode again. Look, I know I might be a filthy zombies casual, but I know what I like, and I know what I'm willing to spend my time on, and this game is worth my time. So multiplayer really got to get its shit together. Though the current maps lack a lot of charm and personality that the older games had,
I'm so curious to hear what he has to say about campaign.
It's not, where did you find these fighters, Morticus? We don't have that anymore, thank God. Now, what's the verdict on multiplayer? Well, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
we're ending
Treyarch
with
wasn't lying
campaign.
when they promised to include,
So we're back to our classic 3-lane maps.
because that's pretty much all we have. And you know how I feel about that?
Give me something for the pain and let me die.
They're not
Multiplayer is
3-lane maps
decent,
though.
but
Like
quite
half are maybe.
disappointing. Especially coming off of last year and with an extra year of development, I expected the best from Black Ops 6. But you know what wasn't a letdown? The COD community. I put this on invite only, and 5 Nights with Diddy just joined. Oh, I'm playing with Jefferson Epstein. Another person in the lobby is just named Shrek 2 on Blu-ray. What, dude? The Call of Duty community is going off with these names. This is insane. You know, ever since they took away the custom emblem editor that we'll never get back, the fan base has found new ways to express themselves creatively. Spooge Gobbler messaged me saying, I love you, from Spooge Gobbler.
From fucking Spooge Goblin.
I love that he's not even
Thank
talking
God.
about the game at this point.
This game isn't even real. What up? It's your boy Spooge Goblin.
Unironically, one of my favorite returning features from Black Ops 3 is the Winner's Circle, where you can epically own and dab on the haters. The stupidest fucking emotes you could think of, we got them. Normally this type of thing would make me cringe. This year I'm embracing it. How can I be mad when they have the Olympic breakdancer emote?
They had that one in there
Black
quick,
Ops 6
too.
on paper is the ideal COD multiplayer. It's almost everything the community has been asking for, as long as you haven't been asking them to address skill-based matchmaking.
Because they won't address that.
Combines innovative new mechanics with the tried and true proven classics. And surprisingly, everything has worked great for me. Like no game-breaking bugs or glitches. So why aren't I more enthused?
The only thing that I would say is game-breaking for me is the packet burst, and I seemingly do things to fix it, and they just keep breaking. Like packet burst, packet burst, packet burst.
It's because I'm a goddamn parrot, Mason, and I say the same thing every year. Call of Duty doesn't have enough unique game modes. Make more of them. Make them fun, new. Fellas, I've been around the block a few times, so if you want to really get my attention, you gotta give me an X factor, an experience I can't get in an older Call of Duty, something to make it stand out. This year's multiplayer is so standard.
It is.
They don't have ground war, and I'm not much of a Warzone guy, so it seems like I'm getting less content than I have before. Although, it could just be I'm a little bitch and I'm being needy. The reason I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 so much is because of ground war.
Wait. Actman enjoyed Modern Warfare 2. Oh man, he's one of those. I didn't know that.
Perfect alternative when I ever got tired of the standard 6v6. Lord knows Battlefield hasn't been piquing my interest at all, and the last Battlefront game came out 7 years ago. So there is this vacuum of large-scale warfare
Delta
games
Force,
that
brother.
I crave. 64 players, big-ass maps, vehicles,
I haven't done a video on
turrets,
that yet.
Airplanes, all this shit.
Maybe we should do
even
that.
The war mode in COD World War II was a nice change of pace.
The enemy is building a bridge. Stop the enemy from building that bridge. They're building a bridge.
Yippee! Hardpoint, domination, team deathmatch. How exciting! I've been a good boy this year. I sure hope Santa lets me play Kill Confirmed. Look, I'm just at that point where
I see what he's saying.
Call of Duty status quo, like, I need more than that. Now, there are some new modes like HVT, which is basically VIP from Halo. There's also Prop Hunt, some gunfight, face-off. I think I've had the most fun with Ransack. Basically, there's a pot of gold that spawns in different locations around each map, and then you gotta fight a bunch of leprechauns, and, well, you gotta fight other players, bring the gold back to your spawn, but if you die, you...
Call of Duty, I will give you a free one. I will give you... You want to make something that's new, that people will play the hell out of? Look at Destiny, and yes, Destiny's multiplayer isn't great. Look at the Trials of Osiris. Make a weekly event where you could do search and destroy. You could do you could pick a different game mode every single week, but you have to win 9 games straight. And you can do it with a team. You can do it solo. And each week there is a new reward for that. And if you lose, you got to start over again. And you could do it with gunfight. You could do it with search and destroy. I think those are probably the 2 best modes. That's how you do events. And I might have a video about this later this week. But
so it's kind of like Headhunter and Halo Reach. But you can also infiltrate your opponent's base and steal their gold. You can steal the enemy's points. I want more modes like this where I can actually describe what's unique and creative about it. Instead, the new innovation is like this fucking bullshit map, Stakeout. What is this? You made a map smaller and stupider than Nuketown. How did you accomplish this?
They did.
It's great for grinding, and I am kind of embracing my dumbass arc. But this map kind of signifies a deeper problem for me. A harsh reality we may have to contend with. Get your chainswords ready, because I'm about to spit some heresy. That maybe Nuketown was a net negative for the Call of Duty franchise.
Ooh.
I'm just saying, okay? It's been 14 years, man, that we're still playing on that fucking map. Something about that quick combat has like tapped into the TikTok attention span deficit brain
We've been
rot
saying this for
of our
years with
generation.
shipment.
And I think they just keep making maps smaller and smaller, simpler and simpler. It just seems like modern Call of Duty map design is based around one idea. Don't let players go more than 10 seconds without finding an enemy to shoot. I think maps are much more compelling when they're designed around specific modes or fulfilling some kind of fantasy. None of the maps in Black Ops 6 reflect the settings in the campaign, or at least they were so bland I didn't recognize them. I call this desert map Shitbox Creek.
I actually like that map, but
I just feel like I keep getting killed in the same fucking spot.
Now let's talk about movement. This is always a controversial point of discussion for the COD fan base.
Apparently movement might be getting wild next year.
I've not seen many arguments. Despite it being
True.
borderline impossible to balance movement properly for all play styles, the speed of this game feels kind of cranked like Vanguard. And while it's fluid and fast, I think this also exacerbates the issues with the maps. When you design COD around instant action and instant gratification, you lose a lot of those tactical elements and opportunities for players to use the unique tools to strategize. Black Ops 6 has a ton of cool tactical and lethal equipment, and I just kind of use the same shit I've always had because these are the same maps we've had. The game doesn't really encourage unique playstyles. It's just same old, same old. Most matches I'm not even thinking strategically. I just run around like a chicken with its head cut off, and I enjoy that, but I also enjoy something a little more complex. But how does Omni movement pan out? This should answer your question.
I'm gonna crank up my DPI all the way to the max. Watch this shit.
Yeah, let's do
All right,
this.
3, 2.
Oh my god. Wait, do that again, do that again. Omni movement is
People do this at the beginning of every single game I'm in open lobbies, and it's always hilarious.
The game changer, the X factor. It was the thing I was looking forward to most. I'm surprised people aren't abusing this mechanic as much as I thought they would. Or maybe they haven't found ways to totally break the game yet. Or maybe Treyarch has done a great job of balancing it this year.
Treyarch did a good job of balancing
all
it.
in refining the gameplay. Now you can sprint and look in 2 different directions. So you can quickly reposition without having to take your eyes off of a target. Automatic leaning into cover is a feature that has never screwed me over. If you're sitting by cover, you might as well lean into it, right? So
yeah, I have that one on, and I'm surprised that I do.
You can still mount your weapon for enhanced accuracy.
I hate weapon mounting.
Whole move like an action hero mantra kind of hilarious. It's not as prevalent in multiplayer, but you still can pull off some pretty crazy moves. Like this guy who killed me while sliding backwards. When you do hit the perfect dolphin dive and manage to score a kill off of it, you feel like a champion. You earned that spot in the winner's circle, bud. It's not often I've encountered people who fly out from cover, dive onto the ground, and kill me. So when that does happen, I say, you know what?
You got me, brother.
Okay, this guy actually did the dolphin dive for the double kill. Wow, okay.
The Black Ops 6 multiplayer at its core is serviceable. But the maps and modes don't really accommodate the new innovations that were made to
that
the
is
core
true
gameplay. Like I said, they've really refined the formula. Treyarch has gone out of their way to allow you to customize the user interface to your heart's content. Given that I tend to bitch about it every year, this pleases me. If you don't like the user interface,
change it.
You made the sandwich. You can change everything from the size and shape of the minimap where ammo counters appear on screen. Now, every year we all like to complain about how the cosmetics and skins in Call of Duty are getting dumb and dumberer. But then I think about that time that they sold bacon skins for $2 in Black Ops 2. There's always been dumb cosmetics,
yes,
but at least they were priced right. And those were universal skins, to my knowledge, for all the weapons. Of course, there's the usual bullshit in the store where they're selling like 800 different cosmetics at once for like $25 each. They've figured out their business model. That being said,
new controversy just dropped. Apparently, Activision has started using AI-generated art for in-game rewards.
Fit this in.
With the latest update, they have this zombie with 6 fingers. And now it's got me wondering, okay, if this is AI-generated, what else is in the game?
And I knew that was going to be
voice actors for zombies are being replaced because they don't have protections for AI-generated content that uses their voice? Look at me, I'm Activision. Let's create something great and then fucking ruin it. Out of all the greedy shit Activision has pulled, AI-generated rewards and cosmetics is pretty high up there.
The customization ties in quite nicely with classic prestige. Yes, isn't it beautiful and great? You didn't ever need to change. So why did you? What's really cool this year is each
Warzone, that's why.
represents a different
they cooked.
Call of Duty game. First 2
with the prestige
are
system.
World at War themed. The next 2
I'm almost done it though. Like I literally am 2 levels away from being done it.
And it makes Black Ops 6 feel like
well,
a
to being on the
celebration of
prestige
the
10.
series. It makes me happy that I can unlock a loading screen.
Probably actually get it today.
I grew up on. This game also added something called kill orders, a short list of challenges that the entire player base can contribute to unlocking for everyone. If that sounds familiar, it's because they took notes from Helldivers 2. I hope Black Ops 6 isn't the last game to see the power of community-driven rewards and events. Treyarch has done one heck of a job fleshing out this game's quality of life features. But although they had 4 years to work on Black Ops 6, it seems like most of their efforts went into polish and refinement rather than creative innovation in this very, very long-running franchise. I get that it's difficult to come up with new, exciting experiences that are going to cater to
I
the core
don't
fan
think
base.
it is.
Well, what can I say? I love Ground War. Omni movement is a welcome addition to COD's formula and can make for some pretty memorable moments. But the map design and game modes, I've seen it, I've done it. I'm going to zombies. Black Ops 6 takes place in the early 90s.
Here we go.
It's the backdrop of the collapsing Soviet
Normally,
Union,
I think he like
the
does this
fall of
first.
the Berlin Wall, and the start of the Gulf War. This era was known by many historians as the Happy Years. So in true Black Ops form, this is the perfect setting for Call of Duty to inject some of its classic CIA shenanigans. What is it this time? Gas? Mind control? Drones? Trains? Missiles? This time, the CIA is being attacked from within, and your character, Case, might be some kind of sleeper agent. Yeah, sounds familiar. BO6 makes a concentrated effort to be a direct sequel to both Cold War and Black Ops 2. Since those are two of my favorite stories in the Call of Duty franchise, this is a match made in heaven for me. The perfect continuation of the Black Ops storyline. Or so it seemed. Was Black Ops 6 too good to be true? The answer is yes. The trailers and opening scenes show clips of George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, okay, I know where he's going to go with this. He is going to go in the direction of they did not, like, where was Saddam Hussein? Where was George Bush? Where was the real world in this? We just got a bunch of CIA crap. I get that's where he's going to go with it, which I don't hate, but
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And a Call of Duty fan favorite, Saddam Hussein. His portrayal led to the game being banned in one of the countries it's set in, Kuwait. Now to me, that's a sign of having balls of steel. We don't care if this game gets banned, we're gonna spin whatever yarn we want. I respect that. However, none of these historical figures have much relevance to the plot. They're kind of used as props. They made such a big deal about building on history, and then they didn't.
In true signature Black Ops fashion, our story builds on real history.
What the fuck? What is this Call of Duty? They just got a fucking... They just put zombies in the campaign. It's just so strange that they would do this, but you know what? I'm here for it.
I kind of had the same reaction.
The backdrop of the early 90s.
What?
Like the rest of
What the fuck? Yeah, it's cool there's a mission in Saddam's palace, but guess what? They didn't even include an Easter egg where you find his hiding place. Rookie mistake. To be fair, it is really cool going through his palace and finding.
But that's it. Like that's it. That's really like the only thing.
But Saddam's palace is the exception to the rule. In the third mission, Most Wanted, you actually go to a political event for Bill Clinton.
I like the campaign, just to be clear.
Washington, D.C. And the game is like, so here's this made-up senator that doesn't exist. And I'm like, no, kids, I'm actually more interested in that Bill Clinton guy. There's not even a cutscene of him speaking at the event.
That is true.
Why not tie him into the plot somehow? Is it because he's still alive? I think Black Ops 6 really dropped the ball on this angle of political intrigue, as the narrative takes a hard right later on into some batshit territory. I mean, it's why they call it Black Ops and not mindfuck zombies in a frozen forest ops. I said it before and I'll say it again. Whenever this
that's a hit at Black Ops 3 if you didn't know.
History woven in with its fictional elements, that is when Call of Duty is at its peak.
Like I'm making kill my own president. Right? Get the fuck out of here!
It's super frustrating, right? You go to DC and it's not even mentioned what building this political rally takes place in. When you create missions that are built around real people and real historical events, it's much easier to get those moments to stick with the player, because they probably know who Fidel Castro and JFK are. What I love about the Black Ops stories is they're what ifs. This guy Perseus doesn't exist, but what if he did? What if somebody else had shot JFK? What if it was you?
See it based off a real world thing though.
Questions the series is known for. In Black Ops 6, however, it's what if this game was...
That's why when there was those teasers for the 9/11 stuff, they were like, oh, wow. Are we really going to do this? Are we going to put the conspiracy theory? Did Mason do 9/11? Like that kind of thing.
Set during the Gulf War, and then a bunch of random made-up shit happened. Even having just a single scene with Ronald Reagan commanding your team of CIA operatives That adds weight to the story. The point is, he wasn't dreamt up in a Raven Software writing room, but much of Black Ops 6 story is, and so it feels detached from the history that it seems.
He's making a good point here. Even though I like the campaign, he's making a good point.
Realism in favor of this fictional paramilitary group called Pantheon, who's like part of the CIA or a different branch of the CIA.
They were a part of the CIA.
Intentions and motivations are kept extremely vague, or at least they fall on the shoulders of one person.
Might actually have a video about that today.
Detached from the figures and setting of the 90s, making our actions as the player feel far less important and personal than they have in the past, leaving us with a half-baked narrative that doesn't satisfy as a fan of Cold War or BO2. They do introduce some new faces who make up the main cast,
some of which are good.
You, Case, the player. At the start, this guy Livingston is in charge of you, and he's busting you and your team's balls. So he's like, tell me about that mission that went horribly wrong, and you say, sure thing.
So there I was, in the Middle East.
And all of a sudden...
Oh, whoa, there he is! Whoa!
Ackman loves Adler.
What is he doing? So trusted you.
I thought I could too.
He's got the red name. He's a bad guy now.
Hey, Jane, you want to tape his mouth shut for me?
No, don't. You can't tape that glorious thing.
The thing I love about Russell Adler is not just the amazing haircut, but how he oozes coolness and mistrust. However, after the first few missions, Adler's significance in the plot is like severely toned down. But since he killed our target, well, there's some questions that need answering.
The CIA is compromised, but it's not me. I'm just the fall guy.
Turns out it's Harrow.
I got a message for Woods.
Oh yeah?
Tell him Bishop takes Rook.
Rook, like the chess piece.
So for now, it seems like Russell Adler has gone rampant, but instead of taking him down, boys, we're gonna rescue him. Because Adler is considered compromised, our gang gets suspended from service, meaning our operations are gonna be even more covert because we have to hide them from the CIA.
So why was he trying to tell you something in Kuwait? Bishop takes Rook.
You'll never know.
Shut the fuck up. Adler's code phrase sends us to the hub area of Black Ops 6. The safe house, and I'm happy to see this feature return from Cold War.
This is one of the best parts of the campaign.
Walk around, talk
they needed
to people,
more puzzles.
Upgrade your equipment. Adler left some secrets behind in this safe house, so there's some fun puzzles to figure out and light exploration. This game isn't afraid to slow down the pace, to let the action simmer, and build up the drama. The safe house is gorgeous, and it really makes you feel like you're on a secret mission in a foreign country in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. But this is where we get into the good shit. Boys, check this out. You're gonna love this. Fuck her right in the pussy! It's here that we'll head to the Bill Clinton political event. The third mission, Most Wanted, is one of the most creative missions in any FPS single player. One that
I'm curious what he says about emergence.
Of subterfuge, secrecy, you know, spy shit. You're given a secret camera to take pictures, catch guards in 4K. You socialize, gather information, and I love these types of missions where the level really opens up. You need to get the retinal scan of Senator McKenna in order to get through the security system that's underneath the building to find Adler. You can find where he's hiding in a few different ways, including using the spy camera to eavesdrop on the senator's aide, stealing shit from his car, and then beating his ass.
The hell are you doing in my car?
All the while hiding bodies of any guards you kill or knock out. It's really tense. What Black Ops 6 may lack in its storytelling, it more than makes up for in its gameplay opportunities. They got a dash of Splinter Cell, a couple of
so this is what I said in my campaign review, is like each mission feels like a different game.
And no section or gimmick overstays its welcome. So if you don't think too much about the plot, yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and just enjoy it for what it is. Fuck it! Woo! Bill Clinton.
The open world mission I liked in the moment.
So in a nutshell,
afterwards I was like,
of bad guys that have infiltrated the CIA and they want to do some terrorism. Though it's implied that Pantheon is trying to give Saddam Hussein some kind of experimental weapon.
Alawi knew the Pantheon had a presence in Iraq. It's part of a technology exchange with Saddam Hussein.
This is a nice detail, as IRL, Saddam was looking into chemical weapons. He might have done a little oopsie-whoopsie with that. I mean, he didn't have weapons of mass destruction, but the rumor was he thought he did.
They told us
that was a nice
we
excuse,
did.
Wasn't it? Gasoline, we don't have a lot of it in this country, okay? It's got to come from somewhere. Instead, this mysterious weapon is called the Cradle. Now, it's at this point when we talk to Adler that he reveals something very confusing. Livingston mentioned earlier that Adler was responsible for Woods being crippled in Panama. Adler elaborates further on this, saying there's a rumor that he was the one who compromised that Panama mission in Black Ops 2, and was therefore the one who got Hudson and Mason killed. Adler claims he was framed. And there's that element of Russell Adler that is so intriguing, the mystery of whether or not he really can be trusted.
But you don't have to trust me, Marshall. But it might be best if you do, for you and your team.
What happened last time, boys? What happened last time?
Can we trust
him? What
them?
happened to Bell? What happened? Did you know jet fuel isn't hot enough to burn steel beams? Regardless, this is a nice excuse to have a mission where we fight through Saddam Hussein's palace and hopefully take a dump in there. But before we do that, we have to, you guessed it, take out some missiles. Track objectives. Fast travel? What the hell? What is this, fucking Fallout right now?
Oh, you put the Fallout music to it. Nice.
Another non-linear mission? You mean I can drive around, explore at my leisure, and like, what, there's side quests on the map? It's crazy the amount of effort they put into each mission.
Yes.
And creating so many things that they don't use anywhere else in the game.
Talk about emergence. I want to hear what you say.
Free. Kind of reminds me of those, what were they called?
We call them open combat missions.
This is how you do an open combat
Yes,
mission.
that's true.
Said Raven Software as they pulled out their 15-inch cock, waved it in front of Infinity Ward. Leave it to Raven Software to take a brilliant idea from last year's con and actually create it with the brilliance part. Might have taken a year, guys, but the pizza's finally here. I mean, I'm fighting through an underground bunker in Saddam
Was it not
Hussein's
Sledge
palace
that
right
made
now.
those
And,
open combat
oh my
missions,
God,
though?
we
Am I
can
wrong?
actually take a dump here. It's here that Marshall, Adler, and Case end up finding the cradle, or at least a sample of it that looks like the mutant injector from Zombies. It's just one of the many similarities the campaign has with Zombies.
Oh, he is going to go there.
Black Ops 6 goes from traditional military campaign into batshit crazy mode. You guys have your acid tablets ready? Good. It's time to take them. It is a nice role reversal that the
Viagra?
weapon is American made, because we're always going into Russia in these
blue
games.
pill.
But now, like most biological weapons, the cradle was created in the state of Kentucky.
Adler believed the Pantheon gained access to a military research facility called Advanced.
To be clear, I love this mission. A lot of people don't. I love it. I think it's great for the story. And a lot of people don't like that zombies are in it. So let's hear what he has to say.
Technologies and applications.
Sounds impressive.
It's located in eastern Kentucky.
So Case and Marshall head in quietly. You end up getting separated from Marshall and enter Spook Town.
Another good one.
I saw that one move. I fucking saw that one move.
And what's crazy?
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Is that this isn't even the scariest mission.
I'm not joking. They go full haunted house on you. Case's mask breaks and he starts breathing in the random toxic gas. Oh. Oh my God.
The fuck is in that gas?
I can actually use clips from last year's Call of Duty. The fuck is in that gas?
I bet you he tells his editor what memes to use.
So the writers use the whole hallucinogenic drug excuse so the developers can create the most insane combat scenarios. Statues that run towards you when you're not looking.
Should have left them as statues.
But like, why zombies? Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's Russell Adler again. I shot his fucking arm off. There's even zombie types in the campaign that I don't think are in Black Ops 6 zombies.
Not
Still
yet.
got one more boss. I don't even feel like I'm playing a campaign right now. This mission is one of the strangest. For starters, it's got clear Doom inspirations with 4 colored key cards you have to find.
I think it
And
has
out of nowhere,
Bioshock
you get a
inspiration.
fucking grappling hook,
Which is
While
dope.
Fighting a Margwa with a grappling hook is pretty fucking fun and exciting. This doesn't really tell me anything about Case, my character.
It does, though.
But this mission is
Okay, you're
jam-packed
wrong
with
there.
surprises and moments reminiscent
That's
of
the
other
only
horror
mission
games
that
and
tells you
horror
about Case,
tropes.
actually.
The ominous phone call that keeps ringing until you pick it up.
Like, literally, this is the only mission that tells you anything about Case.
But I think the problem I have with this mission, Emergence, it blurs the line between the grounded setting of the 90s
Yeah,
and
see, this is what I knew he was going to
fucking
say.
COD zombies. Playing through Emergence was the first time Call of Duty genuinely scared me. But looking back,
Oh, wait, well,
I
there's
struggle
another
to
mission later
understand
on
what
that will
the
genuinely
point
scare you
was,
even more.
story-wise. It bears a lot of resemblance to the
Kinda.
frozen forest sections in Black Ops 3. Both are incredibly unique visually, but they make you forget you're playing Call of Duty. Black Ops 1 really executed on the whole "you've been brainwashed" concept way better, because it successfully tricked Mason and therefore the player into realizing that they were hallucinating, that the
I'm out of
memories
coffee.
we were
Shit.
reliving had actually been tampered with. This is what made the twist at the end so fucking impactful.
Yes.
All along the way, they're dropping these audio cues and visual effects.
21, 10, 16, 23.
So it's revealed that one of your partners is the true mastermind behind Pantheon and all their recent attacks. And it's not Russell Adler, it's Jane Harrow. And for reasons I don't quite understand, the last mission turns into a deep dive psych evaluation on this character.
'Cause MK
She
Ultra.
hadn't really felt all that pivotal to the plot.
Yeah,
nor
this
was
is
she
true.
memorable enough for this twist to have some kind of impact. I'm mixed on the story. On one hand, the presentation in the final mission, Separation Anxiety, it's a remarkable depiction of the mind. What it's like to
It is.
confront internal trauma and what it takes to overcome that, to make the mirror whole again. Restore each piece of who you are and be able to see yourself.
And then here's the issue though, is okay, we use MK Ultra, we seemingly restore Jane Harrow, and then just stab Frank Woods.
That's kind of gay, but hey.
That's some deep psychological shit, and this stuff isn't often explored in gaming. So while I think the presentation is top tier, it's bizarre how the story takes such a hard turn into becoming a character study when Jane wasn't being studied
True.
much in the first
Like, it
half.
should have been a
She
deep
does
dive
have
on
some
Case.
similarities to Menendez in her quest for vengeance, with motivations that are relatable
Kinda.
and understandable, but that doesn't explain why the fuck she has an entire military backing her up. But it's like they introduced a new character and are trying to shove an entire season's worth of character development into the final episode. It's disappointing
Yeah.
that Case isn't really important, I guess because we were exposed to the same virus as her. We're the ones who need to take out Jane? But then doesn't she also like overcome her trauma, so shouldn't we
That's what
be
I was
homies
just saying.
now? I don't know. Then the game just kind of ends abruptly with Case and Harrow dying, I think. And the other guys meet up and are like, hey, good job. Oh, by the way, there's another mole, and it's this guy, whoever he is. Though Black Ops 6 has some of the most creative campaign missions and level design
Yes.
in the series, the narrative supporting it is painfully disjointed, unable to focus on a single plot thread or a
This
main
is true.
character.
This is a great
And
way
I
of
don't
putting
know
it.
why after the first few missions Russell Adler took such a huge back seat. He was the best new character Call of Duty has had in forever. And it feels like the writers didn't know what to do with him. They did the whole Black Ops 3 Frozen Forest thing way better than that game, but it's
Yes.
immersion breaking for the exact same reasons. It's an awesome campaign to play through, but a mediocre story to reflect on. It's not often we get a Call of Duty
That
game
sentence is perfect.
that has so few relative problems, but the issues I have with it stop it from being completely awesome. I really was expecting something more grounded, realistic, and
Great
historically
campaign to
based
play,
in the
mediocre
campaign.
story as a
I wanted
whole.
more Russell Adler. I bought the costume, guys. It's not a phase, Mom. It's not a phase. And while we did end up with one of the best single-player offerings in the Call of Duty franchise,
Yep.
the story was also pretty disappointing. I expected the best from Treyarch and Ravensoft.
Too many loose ends. That is the real answer. Like, if we're looking at why that was disappointing, is when they build up all of these strings and they're dangling here, and we have the answers down here which we need, and none of them come together. None of these pay off. None of them have a point. So you build this great narrative and great story, and it just falls short because you don't answer anything. And that's fine to leave loose ends, but you got to tie up some of them.
Software, especially after last year. But the multiplayer really fails to impress me or stand out from the crowd. Nothing I've seen from
I do
upcoming
like the multiplayer, but
content is getting me hyped to sink more hours into it. So for me, this has been a surprise year. I'll be sticking with zombies. The Black Ops 6 campaign intrigued me, but I never felt a payoff for its more subversive elements. It left me wanting more, and perhaps that's the point. But regardless, that is why Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is so awesome and mediocre. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like if you did and subscribe. Thanks to LG for sponsoring this video. You can check out their monitors in the description and pinned comment.
So really, he's giving his review based off individual modes. So loved zombies, campaign was all right, and multiplayer is meh. And do I agree with that? Zombies, 100% phenomenal. Campaign, pretty much agree with what he said. Well, probably the best campaign gameplay-wise, but it just falls short when they don't answer any of those questions. And multiplayer, I think it has great roots, but it just needs a little bit of innovation when it comes to the game modes and the maps and like what is new and what is exciting. So I think that's essentially the summary of it. And this is a long one. This has been an hour and 5 minutes. So Actman always bangs them out. Always makes great campaign, or not campaign, but Call of Duty reviews. And we try to watch them all the time. And he nailed this one. So let me know what you think. And yeah, well done, Actman.